Good morning, guys. Welcome to a special, cozy, comfy morning version of Rapid. Get these earphones out of my ear. I'm not listening to anything. A special morning, cozy, comfy version of Rapid Reviews, complete with a nice cup of coffee. Today we're talking about Creed 2. Now, I'm a very big Rocky fan. I watched the first Rocky movie at a time in my life where I was just like starting to appreciate film as a medium. Like, there was essentially a point in my life where I always loved movies since I was a small child, but there was a point where anything was good. There was no such thing as a bad movie to me. I would see trash and call it my favorite movie. And it was just, there was no concept between good and bad, so to say. And it was really a time in my life around when I was probably like, I want to say 12 or 13 years old when I watched the first Rocky movie. And that was one of the first movies that I really saw that was like, okay, this is different. This is like what movies are. And it really like cemented the idea of film and cinema into my head. And this was one of the first that did that. So I've always had somewhat of a strong investment in the Rocky franchise, especially since I do not couldn't care less about boxing. It means literally nothing to me. I don't like any sports pretty much, so it's really weird for me to like a boxing movie, and that just shows you how good the characters are. Now, Creed 2 is, I would say, my favorite movie in the Rocky saga since the original. If you're not familiar with the Rocky saga, there's Rocky 1 through 5, then there's Rocky Balboa, then there's Creed, and then there's Creed 2, and that's the order of the narrative. And it's all one continuous story. It's all one continuous series. I mean, the primary protagonist focus shifts between Rocky Balboa and Creed 1, but Rocky's still a very important character in it, and it continues if you weren't. Focus. Fuck. What's happening? Anyway, Creed 2 was great. It wasn't like I was worried like watching it like at certain parts. I'm like, am I gonna have to amend my top five of the year list, which is up on my website. Go check it out. Um, but I don't. I don't think it's like I don't think it crosses the threshold from great to one of the best. Like it's very very good. It is the best Rocky movie since the first, but that doesn't make it a masterpiece. And there's nothing wrong with it. It is literally flawless, and it does a great job of characterizing all of the heroes very well and all of the villains very well. Spoilers. I'm starting spoilers here, so if you don't want if you don't want to see it, it is definitely a worth seeing movie. Okay, so the villains in this movie are Ivan Drago, who was the villain in Rocky 4, who killed Apollo in the ring, who is Adonis Creed, the protagonist of this movie's father. So you could see the inherent emotional connection when Ivan Drago pits his son, who I can't remember the son's name, and sort of like baits this fight against well, it's a baited fight by him, but it's really by this like weird character that's like a showman character that kind of like puts these shows together. That's like in and out of the movie, kind of disappears. You don't really learn much about him, and I wonder if I was supposed to know who he is and I just don't remember from the early Rocky films, or if he's a new character that's going to be explored more in future Rocky films. I don't really remember. But yeah, the villains are explored very well, and it gives a whole new dimension to Ivan Drago's character, and you actually feel sympathy for him after the first movie, in which you felt no sympathy for him. I can't see the time when I'm at this angle, so I have to like tilt it. Anyway, since we're running a little low, I just want to say all the performances in this movie are absolutely incredible. The Rocky use of the Rocky theme in this movie was flawless. The whole movie during trademark, I'm like, when are they gonna use the Rocky theme? When are they gonna use Rocky theme? And I'm so glad they waited till when they did. Not spoiling when they did. It was one of the most satisfying moments of my entire year in cinema, like chills throughout my whole body, tears falling out of my eyes. It was so incredible. And God, it just shows you how great this franchise is. Like I thought about Endless Jess's Rocky rant, his like crying Rocky rant that he did on the Procrastinators podcast. And I almost got like a tear in my eye just thinking about the rant. It's just such an incredible saga, and this is definitely the best entry since the original. So it is. You know what? Fuck it. It's a must see, baby.